Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. My name is Rich Davidson, and of course, I'm joined as always by my good friends Eric Forbis and Craig Hendry. And fellas, this was a fun show. We kind of got to talk about some things that, they're kind of near and dear to us because we have a lot of years behind us in terms of experience. And so I think, I don't know what you guys thought, but I thought it was a really, really good conversation. I think we touched on a lot of different things.
Yeah, lots of different things. A lot of things that take a lot of insight. You know, some things that can be hard to talk about or face, but also things that are good and ways that we age and increase our contribution as an artist.
Yeah.
And the slowing down, the peace, the resting in your own confidence of just experience, you know.
Yeah, I second that. It was a lot of fun, and we hope you guys enjoy it. And while we have you, if you like what we're doing, if you like what you're doing, that's great too. But if you like what we're doing,
you should stop what you're doing and do what we're doing.
Yeah, just listen to us. We've got this. We have experience. But if you do like the show, if you like what you hear, go ahead and let us know. Leave us a comment. Or if you have an idea for a topic, we would love to hear that. Love to incorporate that in a future show. Also, give us a like or a subscribe or a follow, whatever your streaming platform of choice allows. And hey, if you're feeling real generous, share the show. Because I said this before, but the fact is that word of mouth is the best way that podcasts get new listeners, whether they're big podcasts or little podcasts. So definitely, if you think somebody would appreciate this conversation or just like hearing us talk, go ahead and share the show. So without further ado, let's get into the episode.
Welcome to...
This is why musicians need therapy.
Look, I don't listen to whoever you want to listen to. Nobody asked me to be the arbiter of who you can listen to and who you can't. But man, I just think, is this how you want to be remembered? This is your legacy. I don't know. For me, I couldn't possibly listen back to some of the stuff that these people have done and thought, wow, that was really good, because it wasn't. I don't know.
Well, was it? I feel like we were all watching some clips of Frankie Valli.
Oh God, yes.
That's a rough one. That's so hard to see.
Yeah, it's like, what do you?
Oh my God! Somebody just put him out of his
elder
misery.
abuse. Yeah, no, that is
exactly. No, it really is.
It is. It's like, it literally is. The hell?
And no, I don't think that's an example of it. But just to play the devil's advocate and come from the other side. If you spent your whole life building your name and your brand and your legacy, I'm not to this place. I don't know how it feels, but I try to imagine how hard that would be to leave that all behind. And so I try and have, it's hard to be like, okay, this is my last one. I know it's hard. But also it's hard for us as consumers to watch people that we once held in such, high reverence, high regard, sound like shit, to be frank. And it's music related. I also equate it to, a particular athlete that you love. Rich and I love talking tennis, and there's a time for a great champion to step down rather than keep playing and keep getting beat. And, it can't not affect your legacy in some way. To me, it's hard. It's emotional,
Yeah, no, I just, for me, from a standpoint of performing, I'm very, very critical about my performances, and I will find fault where people don't find fault, or the people don't notice, but I do. And for me, I just can't imagine hearing myself performing that poorly and thinking, oh, yeah, it's a good idea that I should continue. I don't.
Or that people are around you are saying, no, keep going. You would want people to say, hey, I think it's time to pack it in, buddy.
Well, yeah, it was funny because this was a few years back when John Bon Jovi was doing kind of some solo stuff, and his live vocals were just terrible. I mean, just awful. He couldn't hit those notes anymore, and that happens. But whoever was writing the article kind of made the point: who's going to tell him no? Who's going to tell him no?
That's right.
Who's going to say that? If they do, they're probably not employed anymore.
That's right.
So
you can make money as a yes man. That's for sure.
Oh, hell yeah! I would. I said, John, you sound great. Keep it going, man.
That's right.
How much? That check's coming in on time, right?
You should play a bigger venue next time. Yeah.
Just keep going. Scale it up. Oh. It does beg the question, like, why you would as a I was going to say layperson. I guess we've dipped our toes in the water of the industry, but like you would think that like, haven't you made enough? Haven't you had all the glory? And maybe, like you're saying, Eric, like for their sake, it's just they can't. It's not. Maybe it's not about the paycheck anymore. It's like, how do I admit? I don't know, defeat. How do I walk away from it all?
Yeah.
Well, and again, like, I just to try and equate it across the board is something I feel like is really, really similar. Like, LeBron James just signed another pretty minimal 2-year deal, and he wants to, in his comments, he said he thought he'd played his last game last season, but he said he still wants to compete. He still wants to work. He still wants to try. And I think there's a part of it that's like, I want to prove to myself that I can do it. But, your belief of you being able to do it and then reality can be a tough bridge to cross over. So. Yeah,
and I think that, when we talk about that, because we can kind of look at things as a spectator, because none of us here have had that level of success, and so to your point, Eric, maybe we don't understand that drive.
Exactly.
And I'll give you that.
You have to have. They have to have had that in their career. Yeah.
Well, because of that drive, they've had the career.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
and how do you just let that go? How do you?
And it may be hard to let go, but life is full of hard things, and sometimes that's what you got to do, because I don't know. The issue of legacy has been brought up. Is this how these people want to be remembered? Because unfortunately, to a lot of people, this person being a legend, look, love him or hate him, John Bon Jovi is a legend. Rod Stewart is as well, and so is David Lee Roth.
Unfortunately, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know.
Sorry.
Yeah, don't even get me started on Springsteen. But these people are legends, and there's going to be a lot of people that are going to remember them for what they saw when he was playing at the Indian Casino in Missouri. And and he couldn't remember the words and just had to lean on the background singers and stuff like that. But by the same token, I don't understand that drive. But I will say that I think, I don't know. I think for most people, I think these guys are kind of living the life they've always lived. And maybe that's a little restrictive, because, you tend to think as you get older, maybe what and we've talked about this before in other episodes, as you get older, your dreams change, because sometimes they just have to. I'm not my chances of being a rock star died about 25 years ago, and that's just a reality. So I change it. I change up, and try to do things differently, and I have different goals now, and. Maybe these people that are still chugging along at 81 and need oxygen halfway through the show. I know it's terrible, but maybe they don't see any way to pivot, and they're probably better suited to do that.
They should start a podcast.
Well, I'm sure they probably have one. Yeah, I'm sure they do.
None of this pertains to Rick Springfield, though. He's still rocking shirtless.
Oh, God, that guy is
killing
like.
It.
I mean, he looks.
His
face.
Nosferatu, wasn't it?
Dorian Gray. Don't show him a picture of himself. Right. No, that's crazy too. Because he's like 75. Is he?
I don't know. I know he's.
How old is he?
I think he's.
Hold on. I got the internet here.
He's in better shape than me, though.
God, yeah. Well, yeah. A bag of yogurt is in better shape than me right now, so that doesn't. All right. Let's see. How old is he? The Australian-American musician and singer. He is.
And actor. Don't forget actor.
Oh, yeah. He is 76.
Wow.
76, yeah.
76. Yeah, he looks good. He looks good.
His hair's still a nice light brown.
Yeah. So is Australian jeans.
That's right.
Yeah. There you go. That's your future, Craig. You're going to look like
Sweet.
you do now at 80.
And some United States injections.
Septuagenarian glow up.
That's nice.
No,
what do I have to inject? No, we won't go there.
But,
oh, go ahead.
No. Please.
Well, I was going to say when we were first talking about this topic, the other part of it is what I really am excited to talk about is how your perception of performance, how your perception of creation, how your perception of art and music change as you grow from a young man to a wiser older man. All these people that we're talking about are or should be aging out. I once had the world in their palm of their hand, and they also evolved musically and spiritually and emotionally throughout the years. And I think that's a really interesting transformation for an artist.
So how do you think it changes?
Well, I think just speaking, I'll speak as myself. As a younger man, musician-wise, piano player-wise, playing is all about how many notes, how loud and fast can I hit, and how impressive can I be with my speed and intensity. But as I grow older, I understand that the most mature and most creative and best spot to be is a spot of prioritizing, supporting the people playing around you. So,
and Craig, would you agree with that, or what is it? Is it different, or?
Yeah, I mean, perspective, just living experiences that just brings more nuance, more context to your life. I mean, and it shows up in all sorts of ways. I mean, it's like I even find myself, I don't know, like in everyday life, like it used to be that all the professionals around me were older than me, and now they're all sort of younger than me. And like you go to the doctor, and your GP is, I don't know, 29 or something.
Yeah,
it's as far as artistry, I don't know. It's funny because there's been a couple of things that I've noticed. I feel like in the last week, two artists in particular, huge artists. One was Billy Joel. I feel like Billy Joel has said lately he doesn't really write songs anymore because when we're talking about legacy, he's like, well, I wrote all my best songs years ago. Like I don't want to dilute that legacy.
Yeah.
And another one was John Mayer, and he sort of said that in your 20s you have that angst, you have that drive, you have that, as you said, Eric, the world is your oyster, and you're looking out, and it's tough, and you're experiencing it for the first time, and heartache and all those raw emotions, and you put them into songs,
and you're acting intensely. You're making your presence known in a boisterous way.
These very intense feelings, and they manifest themselves as incredible music. I mean, like look at Paul McCartney, like one of the best songwriters of all time, and his recent stuff is just not. It just doesn't hold a candle. So I don't know. It's tough.
Well, it's interesting because, like I can say for me, as a drummer, you're kind of always the person in the background. Maybe you get a drummer that's a lead vocalist like Phil Collins was, and who was the other guy? I can't remember his name. Huh?
Levon Helms.
Well, that's
Levon
true.
Helms.
Yeah. And the band is kind of more my speed when I was younger. Canadian three-piece Triumph. The lead guitar player and the drummer shared lead vocal duties.
I didn't know that.
But generally, the drummer is an accompaniment, and so I kind of fell into that role a lot more naturally. You still have to, especially as a younger musician, younger drummer. A lot of people had to contend with my overplaying and stuff like that, but that kind of faded away pretty quickly, and I got very comfortable, kind of being just a member of the band rather than, the spotlight's not on the drummer. But what I find interesting is that as you get older, you become less of a musician in some capacities, but a better musician in others. It's like it's kind of the exact opposite. When you're younger, maybe you have all this raw talent and ability, but
you want to show it off, and
it's not musical. I think the guitar player Robin Ford, jazz guitar player, he's like, I see YouTube today and these musicians, and it's like a spectator sport. How fast can I play? How can I do this? But there's not a lot. There's not a lot of musicality about that. And of course,
I think
as you get older, that kind of fades away because you do lose a step. It's going to happen. But you actually get better because you choose your spots better. You're more, for a drummer, you're more interested in pocket playing and making everybody else sound better than bringing the attention to you.
Yep.
That's great what you said right at the end there, Rich, making everyone else sound better. That's what I kind of mentioned earlier. But I think generally as we age, not even artistically, but just humanitarianly. I know that's not a word. Whatever. As we age as humans, we evolve into, I feel like, a place of wanting to be a servant to other people. I feel like that's, in the end, our most natural, quote, reason to be here. I feel like is to be, always searching for a connection and always searching for an opportunity to be a servant to another human, another person. So musically, artistically,
and less to yourself.
What's that?
Whereas, when you're younger, you're serving yourself a bit more. But as you get older, you're like, no, I'm going to serve the audience. I'm going to serve the it sounds wanky, but the creativity, the show, the audience.
So musically and artistically speaking, and there's several major iconic artists that have always mentioned the beauty in the spaces, the possibilities in the spaces. Chick Corea, was it Chick Corea? Someone said It's about the notes that you don't
Miles
play.
Davis, maybe?
Well,
Miles Davis,
Miles Davis said that Chick Corea kind of expounded. Chick Corea is like when you're playing whatever instrument, look for places to not play.
Yeah,
You know, create space. Listen
Create
to
space.
what everybody else is doing, and just find that space where you can just maybe not play or just play minimally. So it was kind of an extension of what Miles Davis said. Yeah.
So maybe as you get older, you know your ego just continues to dwindle, and you kind of just fall into a place of recognizing your place in the grand scheme of it all, and are focusing more on connecting with others and serving others, and you know that works artistically and across the board as well. So.
Well, yeah, it's not only, as you said, good artistically. It just makes you kind of a decent person.
And I think older people are better people generally. I do.
Generally speaking, yeah. Well, unless it comes to our lawns. Yeah.
or a new rap tune.
Oh yeah.
I agree. There's. I don't know. I feel like we're all bridging 3 different decades now, but I feel we're probably still, with me maybe right in the middle. Like we're bridging that. It's just a really wonderful time to be a human. Like late 30s, mid 40s, early 50s. Like, you know, knock on wood, in decent health, but you've had this wonderful experience, and I found like from my shows have like. Things have just kind of slowed down a little bit. Like, there's just not that anguishness.
You definitely don't take don't take yourself as seriously as you get older.
Yeah.
Well, and Craig, you said things slow down. Do you think that's just a byproduct of getting older? And the reason why I ask that is like. I hear this all the time. It's a sports analogy, but one of the problems that a lot of American football players have when they go from college to professional is the speed of the game. Everybody is so much faster.
Yeah,
and one of the things they talk about in a good quarterback is they when they come into the league, everything is moving so fast. But where they really begin to excel is when the game slows down for them. You know, they're able to see things better, and not necessarily that it physically slows down, but mentally, they're seeing it. And I wonder, I wonder a little bit. You know, you're talking about that. Is that kind of an attitude or a vibe, or is it just look? I've done this enough. I know what I'm doing, and you know things. You know, things don't come as fast and furious to me now as they used to, and therefore I can, you know, have more. I can play with more purpose. I can do bits with more purpose, and so forth and so on. Do you think that?
Yeah, maybe more so the former. It's maybe it's that 10,000 hour thing. You know, it's just putting in the time and. I think a lot of it is self-confidence, which we've talked ad nauseum about, where I just now don't get me wrong. I mean, I did a gig this past week. It was an 11 o'clock in the morning solo gig, and you know I still have anxiety about where I'm going to park and load in and. What are the people going to be like? And will I have good repertoire? And you know, like there's still a lot of noise, a lot of
thank you,
mental
Craig,
noise.
Thank you for mentioning the parking, because that is a concept. That's something that no one really talks about, but every gigging musician deals with that shit. Where to park? Because sometimes it's literally impossible.
Yeah, and you got gear to load.
So you wanted me to play, right? Where am I going?
Oh. Totally.
Oh, God, that word just triggers me. I'm sorry.
Sorry, yeah. Eric spiraling. So you know, it's a bit of both, but then it's like I feel like I heard Michael Jackson even say this. He used to say something like he would get nervous before a gig, but once he was on stage, He was like, I was home. I was like, I'm absolutely paraphrasing. I don't know what his specific words were, but that's sentiment, you know, and that's sort of how it's become, I think, now for me is, yeah, once I'm set up and the sound is good and everything's, you know, copacetic, then, you know, that's when it all slows down.
Yeah.
I do my thing.
You're very comfortable there.
Yeah, comfortable.
Yeah. I think too that as you get older, you have better perspective, and if you do have to pivot a little bit, and kind of change your trajectory, maybe it's not easier to do, but it's easier to conceptualize, because you know, you can go down one path for a long time, and then, you know, if it doesn't work, you know, at some point you're going to have to figure out what to do next. And yeah, I think as the older you get, the easier it is for you to see. I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say, but I think it's easier for you to see the possibilities in other things. I've mentioned it several times where, you know, if you would tell me in my 20s that I would be doing what I'm doing now and being happy with it, I would be surprised, mainly because when I was in my 20s, we didn't know what the hell a podcast was. But yeah, we do.
Or a computer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or okay, yeah, you're kind of right about that.
Am I right? I don't know.
Yes, no, you're absolutely right. But yeah, yeah, computers were no. We were still just getting a cell phone that we had to carry around a big suitcase for and plug it into our cigarette lighter. But yeah, I mean, that notwithstanding, I think as I got older, I was able to say, okay, well, because as you get older, you can be narrow-minded, but it's not going to help you out very much. It's just going to make your life miserable. And so, you know, as I get older, I can start to maybe see, okay, well, there's got to be something else to do that brings me as much happiness as, you know, whatever, playing drums or whatever. And there is, and I still get to play drums, but it's not my focus anymore. You know, it just isn't.
Do you guys ever think back to your 20s and go like, who the fuck did I think I was? Like, I feel like there's some decisions and things I was doing in my 20s was like, I thought I was just such a, I don't know, like.
Honestly, man, like there's
because
plenty
I
of
see
those,
it in kids now
there's plenty of those
today, and then I'm
decisions.
like, I'm guilty of that.
There's
Yeah.
plenty of those decisions for sure, 100%. But anything I look back on in my 20s, I think take me back there right now.
Really?
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think I.
To be young and invincible. Is
Yeah,
incredible.
there's that. There's definitely that.
Yeah.
But in terms of how I saw life in general, no, I'd take today over that.
Yeah.
Well, that is true.
But did you feel like you had that you had it worked out? Did you? Was there a hubris? Was there a sense of?
I felt like it was gonna work out. I didn't have it worked out, but I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna come around. It never did, because I never
had
did
no
anything.
sense of goals. I had no sense of goals at all in my 20s. No sense of ambition or anything. So,
Well, I think I had the ambition. I just was kind of lazy, if that makes any sense. You know, I'm like, oh, this is definitely going to happen. And maybe it would have if I had done something, but I didn't. Outside of, you know, I was playing music and that sort of stuff. I was serious about, you know, learning how to do it, but I was never serious about putting myself out there. And so, you know, I guess the thing is, we'll never know if that would have happened, but That's okay. Look, where I'm at right now, I'm fine with. But yeah, there was the answer to your question, Craig. Yes and no. I felt like it was an absolute assurity that what I wanted to happen was going to happen, but I was just dumb as hell and I didn't do anything about it, and so it never happened.
Yeah.
Well, to bring it back just for a second to how we progress, as artists, and how we age as artists, I think it's an interesting thought that one of our main roles as an artist or musician or whatever is to kind of be the hey everybody, let's love each other, peace and love, right? And connecting people through what I believe is the most universal language out there, which is music, right? I think it's kind of our accepted role is to be the person that tries to bring everyone together. And I think as you spend decades in a successful performance career, doing stuff, you get a lot of insight into how exactly music does bring people together, and you become an expert in that arena, that medium, that communication with people. So I think that's another way that an artist can progress, is realizing the actual impact that their art does have on people.
Well, but do you think that is realistic?
In some capacity, like not.
I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you. I do agree with you.
Not selling out an arena, but I feel like that's interesting.
Yeah,
What
even
is
if
the
at
goal
different
of
levels?
What is the goal of creation? The goal of creation, I would argue, is to get some kind of feeling out of yourself, right? You create a product that's kind of a reflection of what you're feeling inside at that time. And then, a desired outcome, I feel like for most artists, definitely myself, would be to find some way to have someone connect to that in a personal way, So I think it's in any capacity. I think it's realistic, and a realistic expectation.
Well, I think the only reason I say that, and I'm probably playing devil's advocate here, is there's just so much external. There's so many external forces that pull at somebody. It's like that old adage that I'm sure that a lot of people, when they first got into politics, really wanted to do something important and change things, but they learned real quick that the machine doesn't really let them do that. And
For sure.
I think music is the same way. Now, I'm not saying that everybody is like that, but there's so many trappings, fame and money, and then of course the obligations and whatnot, that I think it can quickly rob that altruistic endeavor that a lot of people got into music for.
Yeah, if you're just looking for the monetization, you're gonna have to blush and smile at somebody. But
Yeah.
there's like that chick Jessie Mason. Like I feel like her songs are just really authentic. Maybe she doesn't care if she gets signed to a big deal. Maybe she does, and I don't know her at all.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like there's different kinds of people.
It's like Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine, fighting against the man. I'm like, dude, you're worth $100 million. You are the man.
You are.
You're not. You can no longer fight against the man because you are the man.
Kiss the man at some point.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I don't have a problem with him having $100 million. I don't give a shit. But by the same token, it seems disingenuous. And look, we've all heard the stories of the just the horribly vapid rock star that doesn't care about anybody, and plays for 30 minutes and gets a couple $100,000 and leaves, and stuff like that. And then once again, not everybody is like that. You're absolutely right. But what are you going to do?
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I'm in no position to do anything.
Switch careers. That's what you're gonna do.
I'm going to stew on it and raise my
That's right.
button up.
I'm gonna issue a strongly worded letter. That'll show them, those bastards. But yeah, no, I do
Who's
think.
Rich? We have a letter from Richard Davidson.
Oh my God!
What the hell is that?
Stop the show! Stop the show! We got to read this. Well, that's the thing. One of the things that I was thinking about with that we have talked about experience, and how that changes us as we get older. How we play shows, how we play songs, how we approach a crowd, all that sort of stuff. And I think that's one of the things that makes such a big impact because, look, whether you believe it or not, the overall message in society today is that the older you get, the less valuable you are, especially in a culture today that seems to exalt youth maybe more than ever before. Now, I know that's not a new concept. We all, we want to be like the cool people. Well, the cool people are younger people. They're also assholes, but that's another story. But it's like, the old people kind of get pushed aside, but in reality, there's a lot of value to getting older. That's one of the things I don't mind about is getting older because I don't feel like I feel like I'm smarter than a lot of people, but not because I'm necessarily more intelligent, but because I've lived longer. I'm probably smarter than a 25-year-old. If the only reason is I've seen more life than they have, and it's not their fault, but and I cherish that experience. I do.
I'm still laughing at the fact of eighth grade boys someday being in a position of any authority.
Oh God,
it's terrifying.
They are just the worst group of people that has ever existed. Oh. They're so insecure that they pick out. Well, my wife put it very well. She goes, they are so insecure that they are going to be the first person to take a jab at somebody so they don't give that person a chance to take a jab at them. Yeah. They're going to constantly dish it out because they don't want anybody to give it back to them. Because it's just a horribly insecure time, especially for boys. Good God.
I've seen plenty of grown people do the same.
Well,
same thing.
Yeah, you probably.
But
really,
yeah,
I never have. I don't know.
No, I don't know what you're talking about, Craig. What the hell? We're all well adjusted.
It does. In fact, I was thinking about maybe it's because we've been kicking around some of these topics, but I feel like even today I had a certain I don't know, peace around it's a good age, like you, Richard. Yeah, I know stuff now. I've lived things, and I think being a parent is a factor as well. You take a lot of your experience for granted, and my daughter will be like, well, she was like, "What's insurance?" Like, oh,
well, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Get a pad and paper out. You're going to want to write this down.
That's right. So you just the shit you've picked up along the way of just being on the planet for this long, and but I don't know. I feel like being 39 was harder than being 40. In my 40s, it's young. It's not even middle age. It's I don't know. As a sense of peace about it all, fulfillment.
I turn 39 next week. So.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
39.
But I will say, it's you have the wisdom part that you gained as far as learning how, some people are going to try and take advantage of you. Some people are going to not like you. Some people are going to promise you things that aren't real, and you learn through making mistakes. At least I have. But I think this is a good time for me to say the quote that I was excited about to say. Excuse me, my God.
I don't know if you're going to get it out, man. I'm just saying.
I may just pass out in my chair before I. It's a quote by arguably
39 here.
39 is
he
roaring
he went too soon.
Speak too soon.
He went too soon.
Oh God.
But arguably my favorite athlete of all time, Tiger Woods, said that the day that I stopped being nervous is the day I stopped competing. So in no way do you lose your passion and your vigor for being in the game, for being dynamic and being intense. You don't lose that, but I think you understand how to apply it in a more mature way,
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I don't know. It's weird too, because as I get older, people ask me for advice a little more, which is, I don't know, concerning. Like I didn't think I was giving off that vibe that I'm here to give out information.
I think you're very wise, Rich.
Did they say, "Hey Santa"?
Shut up. Fuck you. All right. Fuck you. I'm not gonna.
Have you? And I don't mean this in an offensive way at all. Have you considered being a fucking ball Santa during the winter, making a ton of money? Dude, you can make a ton of money, dude.
I'm sure I could, but I'm also Jewish, so I'm not.
Oh,
no, I'm
well,
not Jewish. I'm not Jewish.
Oh,
Jesus. Yes,
I don't-
Jesus. No, I can't. It's funny too because, see, I get two things. Okay, so for the adults, they see me and it's like, hey, Jerry Garcia, and all the kids are like Jack Black. And I'm like, well, first of all, Jerry Garcia is dead. It's funny too because I was at an elementary school, and the woman that was helping with the kids getting on the bus, she's like, my husband plays guitar in a Grateful Dead tribute band. Can I take
Why
a
do I give a
picture?
shit?
I'm like, why?
Cool story.
Why do you want to do that? And then, of course, the kids are like, hey, are you Jack Black? I'm like, do you really think Jack Black would be driving a school bus? And then I thought, yeah, he probably would, actually. So, but no, I'm not.
On December 1st, if you went in there with a Santa costume, it would be the talk of the year.
I don't know. I think you're overestimating my importance, but I don't know.
Anyway.
Well, I don't even. What was I saying? Damn it!
Experience.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was just trying to think about that.
Also,
not losing.
Oh, people ask you.
Yeah. People are
losing
asking me for
penny
advice, which is weird. And but I never kind of get over that. But another thing too is I don't know. I take strange pride in not knowing about stuff.
That's wonderfly healthy.
Now, my kids, my son and my son-in-law and a couple people use the term low key all the time.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
I don't even know what the hell that is. I asked my wife.
Nonchalant.
I guess, yeah. So I asked my wife, and she looked at me like, I was an alien or something. Like, you don't know? I'm like, no, I don't. I'm painfully and right now blissfully unaware of what that means. And I don't know. I take great pride in that sometimes because I'm like, oh no, I've got more important things to do than understand your jargon. I've got to go read a physical copy of a book.
Sound Man Weekly.
Oh yeah, yes, front of the house.
Don't get
I
me
know.
started.
I can't keep looking at those L-acoustic line arrays. It's just it's too much for the mind to process. But yeah, it's funny how those things change. And look, we're all none of us are in our 20s anymore, even close to that. And shut up. You're going to be 39. It's not even close to 20. I mean, it's almost 20 years away from 20.
I know.
But it's I don't know. Like you said, Eric or Craig, there's a lot of peace about it. I mean,
yeah.
My body might be falling apart, but it's kind of nice to have the confidence, like we talk about, sound and even drums to that extent. Those are two things that I feel incredibly confident about, and that's something that's kind of new to me, and I don't think that. I think that comes with age. I just
let me ask this. I think when you talk about confidence, one thing that can take confidence away is your preconceived notions of how people are going to judge you. So would you say that as you get older, you just stop caring about what people think, and that is what boosts your confidence?
Yes. But I think I still care about what people think to some extent. I might say I don't. And I think in general I don't, but there are times where, I do.
Because I just think, it's inevitability that you get to know yourself better as you age, and as you get to know yourself better, you probably become more self-confident, I would.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's like being preconditioned, especially doing live sound. There's always somebody who has some input into what it should sound like, and you just kind of get numb to that after a while. And I don't even get upset about it anymore. Sometimes I find it kind of amusing, but I guess it depends. If it were one of you guys and you're like, you didn't tell me, but you were like talking amongst yourselves like, Jesus, what was Rich doing tonight? It sounded like shit. That would bother me. But for somebody else who I didn't know, whatever.
It's too much bass. Why don't you get back to your seat?
Yeah.
There's 2K.
Yeah, how's this for 2K, son of a bitch?
I would say it's just, for me, it's almost just, you've just literally experienced it before. And it happens it happens on a, well, I think a good, I don't know if arbiter is the right word, a good litmus test for that is doing request-based gigs, because you're like, oh, yeah, I've literally played this song 400 times, or maybe at least once, and then just the longer you've been doing this, those songs just add up. But it happens for me too with a little bit of handyman construction stuff I've done. Like, people go, why is my door not closing? Oh, well, yeah, it's because maybe we need to look at the strike plate and blah blah. Like you just experienced it before. It's nothing glamorous or whatever, but but for me particularly, there's a direct, like you talked about self-confidence, Eric. There's a direct relationship between experience and self-confidence.
Yeah, and knowledge. Experience equals knowledge, right?
Yeah, and those are things that are just a byproduct of spending time doing something. And
that's right. And just being on this earth.
Exactly. And that's the advantage that we might have over somebody that's younger. Like I said, not that young people are stupid or anything. There are some that are, and there's also some people my age that are extraordinarily stupid too.
Indeed.
But just that experience there, and that just brings a certain level of confidence, and sometimes it's a good place to be, and it kind of helps you understand that maybe your worth is more than what you have considered because of that.
Mm. Absolutely, and I think we've talked about pay, but yes, literally your literal monetary worth. your value. That is why I'm going to charge what I'm going to charge, because of my experience, my value, my time.
Wasn't there the famous quote of I don't know, I'm sure it comes from a million different places, but the guy who goes to fix the plane and comes with a screwdriver and tightens a screw and finishes in 5 minutes and then charges $5,000, and he says, well, $500 is for tightening the screw, $4,500 is for knowing which screw to tighten, or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Comes from experience. So.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think we're going to leave it there then. That's a good way to go.
Fantastic quote to end with.
It was
incredible.
It was. Okay.
Hook, line, sinker.
Actually, I was being serious. But look, great conversation, guys. Thank you for joining in. It's been good.
Yeah.
It's been good. So we will
good topic.
We will just wrap it up here.